everyone, it's your girl Jennifer. So today we're going to draft this stylish dartless corset with a yoke. Now to the waist table, I'll mark the horizontal measurement, the chest line, the the bust point. I got my under bust, the waistline and the hip line of this corset. Now go ahead to mark my under bust. Alright, so I'll make sure it is the chest line, the bust point, the under bust, the waist and the hip line. So that's basically the vertical measurement I'll need here. So I'll go ahead to determine my shoulder line, my shoulder divided by 2. I'll mark it, that is 8 inches. I'll mark it descend to the chest line. That creates my shoulder lobe, come down by the armhole line and connect it to the neckline. The neckline I'm using here is 3 by 3 inches. Alright, so I'll go ahead to curve it, then I'll create my shoulder slope like so. So I'll connect it to the 1 inches down at the shoulder line. So I'll mark my midpoint of the shoulder line, get my bust measurement divided by 4, mark it at the chest line, then I'll connect the dots together from the chest line to the armhole midpoint down to the shoulder line, just like so. Alright, so the next step I'm going to do here is to get my nipple to nipple measurement divided by 2. Mine is 4 inches. I'll mark it at the bust point and then extend it to the waistline of the pattern. Then I'll go up by 1 inch from the chest line. I'll go up by 1 inch by the chest line. So this is totally optional. So this is if you want the cup, the bra cup, to cover the bust. So at the center front, I'll come in by ½ inch and then mark a line. Remember the paper is on fold, so when I open it, it will be up to 1 inch. So I'll mark it there. So I'll measure from the one line above the chest line to the under bust. One line above the chest line to the under bust is giving me 7 inches. Take note of that. I'm going to mark it somewhere. So then I'll go ahead to get my horizontal measurement. I'll mark my waistline. Remember this pattern is the waist, so my waist I minus 2 inches from there to snatch it. So my waist is 8 inches, then I minus 2 inches from it, which is 1.5. I minus 1.5 inches from it to snatch it. Okay, so I'll mark it and then connect it to the hip line just like I did so. Now go ahead to draft the bra cup separately. So then from the bra cup, I'll measure the 7 inches. Remember, from my one line above the chest line to the under bust is 7 inches. So I'll determine it here, ensuring that the length of this pattern is up to 7 inches. So from there, I will mark remember this pattern is on fold, by the way. So I'll mark the under bust line. From the 7 inches, I'll mark the under bust line just like so. Okay, so this 7 inches is the 1 inch above the chest line to the under bust. Don't forget that. So I will mark the under bust line. So from the under bust, I will measure from my pattern the difference between the bust point and the under bust. The difference between the bust point, from the bust point to the under bust, what I got there is 3.5 inches, and I'll mark it there. So from the under bust, I'll measure 3.5 inches up. So I'll mark it, and that will serve as my bust point. I hope you understand what I'm doing here. So that is the vertical, the horizontal measurements I'm having here, the bust point and the under bust. So having done that, I'll mark it. I'll mark my nipple to nipple measurement, which is 4 inches. So from the center point, center front, I measure 4 inches. Okay, so that is my nipple to nipple measurement. All right, So from there I will mark my, I'll take 1.5 inch at this side. I'll mark 1.5 inch at this side and 1 inch on the other side. If this person is busty, you can mark it up to 2 inches on the both side. Okay, but this one is not busty. I'm just taking 1.5 inches and 1 inch respectively at the both side. So I'll connect it to the bust point like so. So remember, from this center front I mark 4 inches for the nipple to nipple measurement. Then at the other side I'm going to add 1 inch, making it 5 inches. I hope you understand that. I'm marking 4 inch at the center point for the nipple to nipple measurement. Then at the other side I mark 5 inches. Alright, so that is it. I also extend my dart line, and then I'll connect my dart taking from there to the bust point, from the bust line, so like so. So I'll connect it to the bust point like so. Okay, that is my dart. I'm connecting the dart to the bust point just like I'm doing. Alright, so this is it. So the next thing is to connect the dart to the bust point. Remember, I mark 5 inch at this side for the nipple to nipple measurements from the center line. Then the other side is 4 inches. So I'm connecting it to the 4 inches at this side. So as you can see, our cup is gradually forming. So I'll go ahead to take my dart at the center, at the bust point, and mark 1/2 inch at the both sides, and then connect it. I'll connect it to the bust point just like I'm doing. Alright, so I'm going to connect it. I'm going to taking my side darts from the center front. So after that, I'm going to also take another side darts at the side like so. So I'm also taking 1/2 inch on both sides of the dart, and then connect it to the bust point just like I'm doing. Alright, so this is just it. If you have not subscribed for this channel, I don't know what you are waiting for. Please kindly hit this subscribe button, okay, and kindly share. Alright, I'm gonna ahead to take the darts on both sides, connect it to the bust point. Then I'll come in by 1 inch. Okay, I'll connect it, come down by 1 inch on both sides, connect it there just like so. From the midpoint of the center line, I'll mark it there, coming down by 1 inch on both sides, just to create a curve down there. So I'll connect it to the point. Then I'll connect it to the darts at the bust line just like so. I'll connect it to the darts at the bust line, and the bust dart, that's the center darts of the bust point. So I'm connecting it there. Alright, so you can see their bra cup is formed. It's already formed. So I'll just make a slant at the side to give it that shape. Alright, so I'll also slant the other side. I'll go ahead to label my bust. This 1, 2, and the 3. I'll mark my arrows so I know how to arrange it when it's cut off. So I've already set the arrows point. Right, so I'm ensuring that this is up to 7 inches that I measured earlier. So it's up to 7 inches. That means my bust point, my bra cuff is on point. So next thing is to cut it off. Okay, cut off the darts and the side darts. So I'm gonna head to cut it off. Okay, so So this is just it. Not forget that I fold my pattern paper into two. So this is it. So I'm gonna head to tape it together. So I'm gonna head to tape it. This is how it looks like. Okay, so the next thing is to trace it on my pattern, ensuring that the tip is at the center line, that line there. So starting from the bust point, place it at this under bust. Make sure from the under bust you trace it there, and then make my curve. I'm going to trace it round there. All right, so I'll trace it. So I'm going ahead to make it just like so. Then I connect it to the under bust just to make the line there. Now this is it. This is it. So the next thing is to draft a curve at the hip point. I come up by 3 inches at the center line, at the side line, and 1 inch at the center line. So I'm going ahead to curve it just like that. I've already curved it, but this is totally optional. All right, so I've curved it. Then I'll go ahead to draft my boning line. I've drawn my boning line. I'll go ahead to label it. Okay, so remember, I'm not going to cut out this. If you're going to cut it out, that means you're going to sew it together, but I'm leaving this like this. This is the boning lines, and it's totally the way you like. You can draft it the way you like it, the particular shape you want it to be for the boning line. So this is just it, and I've cut out my yoke, the neckline, the yoke line. I've cut it out, right? So I'll go ahead to cut out the hip side, and now this is what it is. Okay, so I'll go ahead to cut out the bust, the area that I've already I've already marked out, and I place my pad pattern on it. So this is the pad pattern. Now we're going to draft the back pattern quickly. Now from the shoulder line, I'll measure my bust point. That is the bust point, 10 inches for the bust point, the waist and the hip line. That is the vertical measurement I'll need here. So from the bust point, I'll go up by 2 inches to get my chest line. So this is my chest line. Okay, now from there I'll measure my shoulder divided by 2. I'll mark it there. So I'll get my neckline. I'll mark 3.5 inches, 3.5 inches at the length and the width, just like I did at the front pattern. So I'll connect it together. That is the neckline. So I'll make my shoulder slope, come down by 1 inch and connect it to the neckline just like so. Okay, all right, so this is it. So the next thing is to mark it at the chest line, the same shoulder line to the chest line. So I'll connect it together. So from the midpoint, I'll place my shoulders curve. So measure my bust measurement divided by 4. I'll mark it and connect it to the curve just like I did. Now the next thing is to get my nipple to nipple measurement. Sorry, my zipper allowance. This is not going to have a zipper, so I'm creating a space for my loop. So I'll mark 1.5 inch on both sides, mark 1.5 inches and extend it to the pattern line. All right, so from there I'll go in by 1 inch, go in by 1 inch for my loop, for my casing. All right, so I'll connect it there. So this is just it. All right, so this is just going to be my loop case, and this place I'm going to cut it off just like this. So the next thing is to mark my horizontal measurement, bust divided by 4. I'll mark it there, my bust divided by 4. Note that I'm starting before the allowance, the loop allowance. I'm starting from there to measure. So I'll measure my waist measurements and minus 2 inches from it. That means I'm snatching the waist just like I did in the front pattern. So I'll mark my hip divided by 4 and connect the lines together. Alright, so from the bust point to the waist, then with my curve rule I'll connect to the hip line like so. Okay, so I'll connect it. So I'll make this place, I'll make it a curvy bit because it won't be good to be that shaft. I'll make it curvy. Then from the neckline I'll come down by 2 inches. I'll come down by 2 inches from the neckline, then come down by 1 inch at the chest line there. Then I'll connect it. This is the kind of yoke that I want. It's a stylish yoke, right? So to indicate that I'll put a button here, put some button here or a loop to lock it. So that is it. Then at the then I'll create my boning case. This is totally optional. Just do it the way you want. Just, it does not have any rule on it. I'll create my boning case and go ahead to label it. So label it, and this will serve as my yoke. This is the yoke for it. Then at the hip line I'll come up by 3 inches and come up by 1 inch at the center part, center back. I'll come up by 3 and 1. Then I will connect it to the center. I'll make it a curve down here, right? Then and curve up at the other side to connect the center back. Right, this is just the style I want to create here, and it's totally different from that of the front. So this is just it. I'm going ahead to cut it off, cut out the armhole line, the neckline, and the shoulder line. Then cut out the side back, alright, and the hip line, just like so. I'll also cut out the allowance and the yoke. Okay, this is it. So I'll cut out the yoke, and this is just it. And these are final draft. This is the front and this is the back. So thank you so much for watching. Kindly subscribe, follow, share so that more tailors can see this. Give me a thumbs up if you find this interesting.